quite frankly, like I'd really like to sock Christian Horner right in the mouth, you know? Like I'm just so fed up with it. What do you think, Joe? So what's going on, everybody? We have another controversial take on things today, and the question in front of us is Red Bull Racing racist? Like, I just saw a new article come out today that was published in the New York Post where Christian Horner, of course, is shooting his mouth off and saying, like, oh, we have, like, a respectful rivalry against Ferrari. Like, and really the problem, last season was we had a lot of tension against Mercedes. Screw you, Christian. Like, really, like, I'm so tired of all of this BS. Let's kind of talk about this, right? Both Christian Horner and Helmut Marko consistently personally attacked Hamilton all throughout their rivalry. They completely went after Hamilton after the Silverstone incident and barely offered any apologies after, what was it, Imola? It was Imola, right? Monza. Yes, thank you. Where freaking Verstappen put his car on top of Hamilton's head, and really, like, even they said, Verstappen or Horner said, oh, the racing has been so much more sort of respectful this season, which completely ignores the fact that a lot of the new FIA rules about overtaking and even how to deal with, how you're positioning after the safety car directly addresses a lot of the BS that Verstappen pulled on Hamilton last season, right? So, and then now we have even the FIA trying to create a no jewelry rule, which the only person in the entire sport who wears jewelry is Hamilton. I'm so frustrated, like, with all of this crap, right? And I'm frustrated because he's the only African man on the entire grid. And especially after the events of last season, like, it just feels like personal attacks, one after the other. And for whatever reason, Christian Horner has no negative words against Ferrari this season. Not one. He's still taking digs at Mercedes specifically, saying, oh, I would much rather have, to repair like a fast car than make a slow, reliable car fast. Like, dude, what's your fucking problem? Like, I just don't get it. And it always seems to be centered around Hamilton and Mercedes specifically. So let us know in the comments what your take is on this stuff. But quite frankly, like, I'd really like to sock Christian Horner right in the mouth, Like, I'm just so fed up with it. What do you think, Joe?
Like, I'm with you, man, because I saw this, like, throughout. I mean, this is 2022, of course, it's new, but Hamilton is not even on top, Mercedes is not even on top, and then why are you shitting on them even though you are fighting with Ferrari? And you say Ferrari is a respectful team, and yeah, I understand, because they are, like, they have a long relationship with Formula One and history and stuff. But why did you attack Hamilton last season when you guys are fighting the championship? But now you are still in the championship, fighting with Charles Leclerc, and then you are not shitting on Charles Leclerc, and somehow you're shitting on midfield team. Like, basically, Mercedes midfield team right now, and then you're shitting on midfield team.
Dude, it makes it like not one negative word against Charles Leclerc or Ferrari.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, and now you're shitting on George Russell, saying, what did he say? He said, you need to finish even though you have fastest car, you still have to finish a race. And then you're picking up that line, and then you're shitting on that. I'm like, come on, man. It's like this dirty word has to be gone. The FIA needs to do something with it, because, like Sherif was saying, all the rules that change, it's because you and your greatest driver, Max Verstappen, come up with it. And now everything's banned because of him. And good luck with that. And then,
Dude, and even, let's even look at Helmut Marko, right? How many times did Helmut Marko talk crap about, what Lewis Hamilton is wearing and, all of these, little digs at him. And then during the race in Saudi Arabia, right, when there were freaking rocket attacks and his own driver, Checo, was expressing that he was concerned and he was scared about it, Helmut Marko turns around and says to German media that basically because Mexico has a problem with the cartels and violence, that Checo should feel perfectly safe because that's the way it is back home in Mexico. If that doesn't reek of racism, I don't know what does.
These two guys, they need to get some penalties, man. They need to get some penalty on what they are saying on their mouth, because it's like we said, it's damaged the Formula One image a lot. It's damaging the Formula One paddock a lot. It's damaging the media. It's damaging us a lot, because we have been talking about them for at least 3 months, and then we thought it's gonna stop, but no, it just keep on going. And now you are not attacking the whole grid. Happened to not being Mercedes on top, and then you're still attacking Mercedes,
dude, and
you're still attacking Hamilton.
Truth be told, we're both people of color, So realistically, okay, is F1 supposed to be a sport just for white people? I'm not going to go out on the limb and say absolutely that these guys are racist, but they are definitely saying a lot of things that, completely ride the line of being racist,
Because coming up from Asian background, coming up from
Middle Eastern background, yeah.
And we've seen this a lot. And if our viewers, you guys are, if you guys don't understand me, then it's okay. But we're gonna still say it, because coming up from that background, we actually experienced a lot of races like that. Like what is actually
subtle
happening
digs,
in Formula One right
subtle
now.
digs.
Constantly. Yeah, subtleties. I mean, you would probably say, oh, you guys are too sensitive. No, this is not sensitive. It's just we experience it, and then if you don't experience, then good for you.
Yeah.
But we actually experience everything.
Dude, not even to just completely crap on Red Bull, but remember I called out Toto Wolff about this too in one of our previous videos, where I said he said that it's part of the culture of the Middle East to have violence. It's dude, no, F you, Toto. It's not part of a culture to have violence. It just isn't. I don't care what any of you people think, but it's not. It's not cultural. It's born out of socioeconomic strife. It's born out of, conflicts on religious grounds, whatever, but it doesn't mean it's part of the culture. Okay? I wasn't, as a Middle Easterner, born and raised to hate somebody else. I wasn't. I never have been. Hell, most of my friends come from some sort of international background, right? So
hey, me, I'm from Taiwan.
Yeah,
and then we have all that big conflicts in Taiwan and China.
Yeah, And dude, if you guys even wanted to like make the argument, oh well, you never had a problem with the Asians. What about problems with Middle Easterners and Jews? Jews have been some of the greatest people in my personal life. That some of my mentors, some of the like nicest people in my life. I have love for everybody. It is not a cultural thing to have violence. And I'm sick of these subtle racist statements that are just riding on the edge of like political acceptance, coming out, because what it does, it suggests a deeper problem where the person is kind of adjusting their words just to be socially acceptable, but it tells you about their mentality underneath, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So
the way that they even think about talking about this is
right, like
unacceptable.
Exactly. The fact that they thought it was okay to make these statements means that there's an underlying deeper thought behind it, right?
Yeah. It doesn't matter how you rephrase the word, or it doesn't matter how you rephrase the language of your trying to say. It's just even one thing when you even think about talking about all this stuff. It's something else, It's
Dude, and just go on F1 Twitter and you will see how many people regularly attack Hamilton, for example, or Alex Albon, or anybody who is a person of color within the sport just based on their ethnicity, right? And so subtle statements like this are little flags to these types of characters to say, hey, we're going to attack the person that you don't like, right? So if you're, a fan of, the Great White Hope, Max Verstappen, and Horner turns around and says, oh yeah, Hamilton's the problem, then you're going to be going and throwing around the N-word against Hamilton, right? I've seen it.
Dude, the craziest part is Hamilton is not even competing for the championship this season. It's not even competing with you, Max Verstappen, and then Christian Horner just happened to just attack Hamilton, attack Mercedes.
Yeah. Dude.
With this big mouth.
Exactly.
It's like, what's wrong with you? God damn it.
Yeah.
Excuse my word, but what is wrong with you?
No, and that's what I'm saying, right? Like all of a sudden you have like, I hate to say it, but white people out in front, and now you don't have any rivalry against them. Now you don't have anything negative to say about them. Like, no. Even when you were behind, and you were having issues like throughout the previous seasons, you still attacked Mercedes. So where is that aggression? Where is that, like, that famous Christian Horner mouth for Ferrari? Like, I'm sorry, I'm
unacceptable.
Yeah, I'm more and more convinced that there is something there that goes deeper than just rivalry. Period.
Yeah.
All right,
obviously.
Guys.
I mean, we've seen it.
Yeah.
All these articles, right? And I have nothing to say except I'm sorry, I'm just gonna say it, hatred on this type of toxicity speech, toxicity language that from Christian Horner's mouth and Red Bull's mouth and Herman Marko's mouth.
Yeah, it needs to be, put to an end, So on that note, this is going to be our hot take on the issue. Yes, it's controversial, but we're not the only ones who have been thinking about this and talking about this. Why don't you give us your hot take down in the comments? If you agree with us, let us know. If you disagree with us, let us know. But this is definitely an issue that, I have felt, Joe has felt.
Of course, I feel all the time.
Yeah.
Even up to now, the other day.
Yeah, quite literally.
How was I here in Los Angeles? I've experienced racist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's... Believe me, if you're a person of color, this is something that you are just sensitive to on the daily basis, okay? So let us know in the comments. Give us, a subscribe. We'll definitely have more hot takes coming in the future. And yeah, just be safe. Be good to one another. Spread love, man, not hate. Really. Like, trust me.
Yeah.
Sharing something positive with somebody else brings you so much more positivity in your life.
Yep.
You have wonderful people who will join you and will support you in your life. The more you spread hate, the more you're alone and the more you're miserable. Spread
Yeah.
love. That's it for us.
Love and peace. Are we still recording?